Looking for a school that provides a solid foundation for your little one? Lozi Christian School is now admitting children from 2 to 6 years old from January 2025. At Lozi Christian School, we understand that every child is unique. Our qualified and experienced teachers ensure that each child gets the personalized attention they need. Our beautiful classrooms are designed to stimulate learning and spark curiosity, offering a rich environment that caters to every child's developmental stage. And we provide balanced meals, snacks, and lunch to keep your little one healthy and energized throughout the day. With a Christian approach, we focus on the holistic growth of every child. Give your child the start of a strong start in life with a school that truly cares. Enroll today. Don't miss this opportunity to give your child the best start. Visit us off Kasarani Mweki Road or call us now at +254 758 396 110. Lozi Christian School, a foundation for the future.
Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good morning. This is Wednesday morning digest, and I am your host Moses Muiruri, and this is the station of choice, Elevate Television, where you get to advance kingdom lifestyle. Today, before I start, I want to request you, wherever you are watching from, and whatever platform you're watching from, we are asking you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook channel, to our Instagram and our X channels, so that you can get the prompts. But most of all, we want you to vote for Elevate Television as the best Christian station we have right now. We believe it, and we hope and we trust that you will believe that with us. So please vote, 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 because this victory is your victory and our victory. And this morning, I want to give you the drill like we normally do. Please ensure that you are online. The link is out on Facebook, it's out on YouTube. Please take it up, post it on your status, post it on your WhatsApp group, send it to as many people as possible. This is a very, very critical discussion we're going to be having today, and you need to understand that some of these things they affect you, whether you know it or you don't know it, whether it's your church. In fact, today, if you have a pastor, call him, tell him, watch this, listen to this, because something is going to shift, change, and be of great use to you as we discuss this. We are discussing about social media analytics and how to make data-driven decisions for organizations, churches, even yourself, as you run your tube, as you run your channel, as you do what you do. But before that, please send and share the link right now. I have shared mine; it's already out. Let me share more. We need to ensure that everybody gets to listen this. To this as we do that. I've sent it to that one. I've sent it to 2 groups. There you go. In fact, I'm still sending, so please do yours. Do yours. This day is going to be amazing. All right. There you go. We've done it. Yeah, we've sent it again. Please ensure that you do that. You cannot miss to get this thing. That's why I'm taking my time to ask you to do this, to make sure that you get to get as much as you can, because if you don't understand today's, I mean, I'm here with a great guy. He's here by public demand. This is no other but Dr. Mursi, PhD. This is a man who he's an AI. He's a professor of AI and data analytics. I mean, I can't explain your profile, sir. Karibu sana.
So thank you, Moses. Thank you again for another opportunity to discuss with your audience, and I'm looking forward to today's discussion. So as you've heard, my name is Japheth Mursi, a individual working in data analytics. In this case, today we are going to focus mostly on social media analytics, and looking forward to great engagement. Thank you.
Wonderful. So today we begin where we left. I'm telling you, on Wednesday, when we left, somebody asked, how fast?
Okay.
And let me tell you, this has never happened on the Wednesday show.
Okay,
Our guest has never come the following week. It has never happened. So you're breaking records. This is a good year. Eh?
That's nice.
Yes. So we are talking about data analytics, and today we're going to focus on social media. This is one of the biggest, this is one of the biggest platforms everybody is on. We have all the platforms that are there, and we have people in there.
Yeah.
And organizations.
Yeah.
Churches are actually social media, that's where they are. But in your view, when you look at all these pages, because you do a lot of analysis,
Yeah.
Do you see effectiveness? Do you see... Okay, let me ask you what you see. That's the best part.
So again, so thank you for your question. So what I see, mostly I'll say inconsistency.
Wow.
And also lack of a strategy, because I tend to compare mostly what the corporate or the secular world would be able to do, and actually from the church point of view. And then when you actually try to check, even if you check different corporates, they even, for example, have a social media policy. They have, for example, a social media strategy. But mostly with churches, some have, but we are not implementing them to the letter. So we'll be able to find, for example, whenever we just find any content, we just post without following. For example, is this part of our strategy? Does this align with our policy? What is our content calendar? Who is for example our community? Not just for example sharing content to any audience just because, for example, you feel like doing.
Well, for me, I see a lot of churches. I'll post the meetings I'm going to attend. I'll post the service, the people down, all those pictures you see, and they are beautiful. I'll post maybe a live service. I'll post maybe what I feel, inspired. What do you, when you see some of these things, what comes into your heart? And I'm talking to you because you really communicated to me your desire to help the church to move from where it is to a better positioned place in the social media and also online presence.
Yeah, so a good place to start mostly then for anyone within the church setup would actually, for example, who is your demographic? You'll be able to find, for example, you have a church who, for example, they have 5,000 followers. When they go live, you have less than 10 people watching. You have, for example, less than...
That's the case.
Yeah.
You normally check, the service is running, you have 20 people, and there's a church of about 1,000 people. So what is it? So
so in such a case, it goes back to your social media strategy. Why are you going live on Facebook? Why are you using, for example, Facebook? Who are you targeting on Facebook? Because you may find you have 5,000 followers within, for example, Facebook, but 90% of them are not even your demographic. Some of them followed you because of sympathy, that we do not, for example, just leave Moses alone. Okay, so but now when you have a strategy, now you'll be able to, even in gaining new followers, in gaining new audience, it will be audience who will actually be able to consume your content. They will not just be happy suddenly. Moses is live today. No, they'll actually be people who are following you specifically for that content. You'll rather have, for example, 20 followers on Facebook, where 18 of them actually would be engaging and interacting with your content, on daily basis. Not 5,000, and only when you go live, only 2 are actually following you, or even have that courage to amplify or, for example, share your content.
You said something there as you're talking about know your demographics.
Yeah.
People don't know who are your demographics that you're looking at, so that you can be able to structure content that basically is geared towards that demography. Now, I think I just need to return you back to last week.
Yes.
How do you get your demographics? Because there's somebody who never listened to us. And I want to encourage you that are watching this. The discussion we had last week on Wednesday is online. You can pick it up and you can listen to it. I mean, there's a lot of wealth of information in that program that you can pick and use for your strategy. Now, how do you create those demographics?
How you create those demographic? You first start by appreciating the data you have. So in the data you have is, for example, let's say, for example, I'm a church of 100 members. What is the demographic of these members? So I'll have, for example, over 40 or let's say around 40. These people who are above 40, which most of them may not be active on Facebook, but often during work hours you'll be able to find some on YouTube. So which means my YouTube strategy would be able to focus on these 50% of my congregation who are mostly 40-year-old, and they'll be able to watch or access YouTube maybe in the evening. Okay, so this, even when I'm posting my content, I'll be able to post a content on YouTube when I am sure I can be able to have their attention. I also have a demographic which, for example, mostly the youths. The youth will mostly be on TikTok, but now mostly in the evening or maybe when they are going to work. Their concentration span may not be is not that much. So I'll need, for example, snippets of 1 minute to 2 minutes. So again, when I'm posting on TikTok, I can just be able to do a trailer that we have to something. See you, for example, see you tomorrow. So I'll just be able to plan and say in the evening I'll be able to post this section of the content, and if someone would be further interested in this now content, can now be able to link to, for example, YouTube or, for example, Facebook. So it starts by understanding demographic, which is within your data, where you need to appreciate your data. 40% are 40-year-old, I'll get on YouTube. 30% are on TikTok, I'll get them on the evenings. The rest 20, they may browse, for example, Facebook between 8 to 9, Thursday after in the evening, and also maybe during lunch hour. That's when I can be able to go live or be able to post.
I think that's very clear, because I really wanted you to bring that out, because one of the key things I've noted, most of us, and you as truly, we don't have data. We actually do not have existing data, and the existing data is outdated in the first place. And the reason we collect data, especially even for customers, why do you collect this data? I think that's very key. You brought it up very well, that why are you collecting that data?
Yeah, so I am a key champion and advocate for data collection, both within the church setup and then also even in the industry, for the different projects I've actually worked on. Because when you even talk about analytics and just prediction, etc. When now why we have, for example, why the current AI models, like, for example, ChatGPT, we are using, when you actually explore them, they are mostly trained on data which do not belong to us. Even whenever I keep, for example, student projects, either in analytics, you'll be able to find they use data from different sources, like, for example, Google, which are not actually your data. So even as Africa, even as within Kenya, there is a lot we need to do in terms of data collection. When we now come to the church setup, again, us to be able to appreciate and start focusing on data collection, Because once you have the data, analytics will be easy. It will just be identifying for customer behavior, I need these variables, where can I get it, etc. So we need to be able to start appreciate, identify our different data sources, be able to consolidate them, where for example we have some missing values, or we don't have clear in terms of which variables, then we go on that. Because once you have complete data, analytics and even data-driven decision making becomes easy.
Wow. You know, our key focus today is about making data-driven decisions.
Yeah.
I have the information. I have collected my data. How am I able? Because I don't want to assume. I'm talking from a layman's language.
Yeah.
Because some of these languages, sometimes we use a lot of word jargon, you know, and people get lost. How am I able, or how can I be able to do, even without much information, how am I able to read analytics? Because most of the social media have analytics pages. How am I able to read them? Because I think I need to understand how to read them.
So how you are able to read them? First, it starts with what we call the different attributes. First, your objective and attributes stroke variables. So if, for example, your objective is audience engagement, you want to be able to understand audience engagement. From there now, you go to your data and say, for example, based on my data, which attributes, characteristics, or variables will be able to help me understand audience engagement. So is it for example, how many, for a post I did last week, how many people were able to comment? For a post I did last week, how many people were able to view my reels? How many people were able to like my content? Based on those who are able to like, again, what's the attributes of this data? They were coming from from which locality? What is their age group? They were able to access this data at what time?
And that analytics is you're able to draw it from your social media.
Yeah, so basically all the platforms actually provide, they provide that those analytics. There are also different tools that that also do those analytics. In fact, there's one we are almost ready to release together with SimeLab, as I mentioned. We do also SimeLab, social media analytics with SimeLab under leadership of Professor Patrick. So we are calling it a hub. So basically, we are doing not only analytics, but now what we are calling it social media listening. So we do with social media listening. Let's say, for example, you are a church. So basically, you listen on, for example, on digital space. What are my followers or my audience speaking about my church? What was the reviews for last week? So you try to listen, and from there now you incorporate that to you, for example, your strategy, and then also your next content. So analytics will go hand in hand with also your ability to be able to listen. So let's say, for example, you make a post on Facebook. You have let's say, for example, 100 reactions. You need to go deep and listen to these 100 reactions. What are their points? What did they like? Because from there now you can actually be able to say, okay, based on this 100, I think this is what my audience would be able to would like for going forward. So listening, now the aspect now interpreting the different variables of analytics. Then now decision making.
I'll still bring you back to what you just said. In terms of when you put a post online, let's say you've put a post, you're opening this shop or this church, and we are cutting across so that at least we don't look like we are only focusing on one area. You cut across. Now, you put that post, and you notice most of the people who actually are responding are people who know you, right? They may not be part of your audience you need and the target audience you need. These are people who know you. Maybe these are, in fact, that's by the way I've discovered, when you do posts, that's when you realize people, even your childhood friends,
Exactly.
they just show up and say, wow, you know. So I feel sometimes that's wasted, or is it just awareness? Because, and is it a clear picture of a lack of a strategy?
Yes and no. Yes, if every most of those people, what we normally recommend mostly within social media strategy is also posting consistently, not daily. If you post, for example, consistently, so it means you have a
So
plan.
consistency is not daily.
No, it's not daily. So in consistency, you say I'll be posting 4 times a week, every day, 8 a.m. So the family or the friends now are able to like, or suddenly they are excited that you are going online. If they're actually genuine interested in your content, they'll still be able to still be able to support you, for example, after 4 to 5 sessions. But now those who are not genuine, for example, they'll be able to like on day 1. By day 2, this is what Moses does. Why do I like again? So when you now adopt that consistent strategy, you are also able to attract genuine and actually organic audience and consumers of your content that will also now be able to help you grow. From there, now you can now be able to see, for example, first day this was just family and friends who were suddenly excited about me, but now this is now the demographic I'm supposed to focus on. You can only get to there when you are able to post consistently, because now that audience will know Wednesday 7:30 a.m. Moses will be having a show, so they'll always remember 7:30 a.m. But now for the family or for example for the friends, maybe it was just by the way for them, so they'll not even remember. But now with your consistency and now building that community, we also normally recommend again not to focus on audience, but a community who can actually be able to consume your content.
I want to throw you a hot potato. You know hot potatoes. You know you're
Yes,
not able to.
yes.
Handle it. You have to juggle like a liver. I know this one may step on somebody, but we are trying to help. We're not trying to attack. There is a clear difference between, and I want to use a church setup here right now.
Yeah.
And even a corporate, you can use a corporate one. Let's say you are a business owner. The difference between the corporate pages and the personal pages, I find a lot of clash. And I also find a lot of, and so one time I was trying to find out what is this. Then I came across this key thing, personal branding. I'm a brand. You know, when a pastor becomes a brand,
Yes.
is another story. And there is also the page, the other organization page.
Yeah.
So what is a clash, and what are the flags for you?
So in such a case, let's say for a pastor and a church setup, I think it starts with if, for example, you are a pastor, you have your own account, for example, on Facebook. So first, whenever, for example, you are posting, since you are already a public figure anyway, and most of the people will be able to follow you, some of them may be in church, and also the threshold and standards for you are high. So it's always recommended to be able to reflect your church values, so that now if this is what the church is posting, you also consistently go along that line.
So consistency
Yes.
between the person and the
Yes,
organization.
exactly. Because you not want, for example, the judge is posting this. Now you are also actually reposting, which is actually anti-church. And then again, remember, we are supposed to be epistles to be read. So when we have these innocent or new social media users, they've been able to be motivated or be inspired by what has been posted by your church. On the other hand, the pastor is posting different. Now, so there'll be this clash, and then now which will be able to lead with further questioning. So there has to be harmony in terms of what are the church values, what does the church repost, and then now the pastor would be able to also follow along that line. Where there is actually need for a strong opinion, then in such a case, it's recommended you can be able to do a disclaimer and say, for example, This will be up for the next 5 hours. It's my personal opinion. From there, I'll be able to delete.
So basically, there has to be, I think one has to be keen on both pages so that there is a lot of consistency.
Yes.
And I like how it's going. I like one of the things is that you need to be consistent, not daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to look at, let's talk to an organization or a church that literally has no digital presence. Where should they start?
So first to be where they should start is first appreciating that you need that digital presence. Also knowing that they are already late into the game. They are already late into the game because it's like, for example, someone gets saved at, for example, 60 years. Someone gets saved at, for example, 25 years. 25 years will have more time in terms of growth as opposed to, for example, the one with 60 years. So the same with the church. So it's not too late, but they'll need now to be that a strategy on, yes, we are late into the game. How are we going to approach it? Because again, if we are to evangelize to even people not within our demographic, we have to be outside out there. Because if the physical congregants are already getting inspired, why would you not want to share that good thing to other people who would not have gotten that opportunity? So first, get into that digital.
First is accepting space. That you need it.
Yeah.
Number two, get into that space.
Yes.
How?
So get into that space by identifying your resource, building a personnel.
Okay.
So do you need someone in charge of social media? There are people who would be able to do. There are people who would volunteer to assist you for free, etc. As you now build your capacity.
Now we will go for a break at some point, and I want to take you back to where you started. You said about a social media strategy.
Yes.
Without a strategy, you will be haphazard.
Yeah.
And you will just do what you think is right out there.
Yes.
Give us in a quick shoot, because we are going to pick it up after the break. Quick shoot. Why should I have a strategy for social media, and I can post from my phone?
So you should have a strategy for your social media because you are on social media and you are dealing with people. There are people, let's say for example, there are people who would appreciate short sermonettes. What's your strategy for that? There are people who will be able to appreciate commentary in terms of Bible expositions. What is your strategy for that? There are people who would be able to appreciate, for example, short videos. What's your strategy? What's your strategy for that? You can see, for example, whenever you'll find people posting either Bible verses or Bible verses, for example, on their status. There are people who, out of either their busy schedule, maybe that's the only Bible verse they'll be able to read on Moses' status.
Yes.
The same again for the church. So if you do not now have that strategy, you are missing a lot on your potential.
So do you need a personal and a corporate one, or do you just need?
So it depends. It depends again on the content. In this personal one, who do you want to target? In this corporate, who is actually your target demographic? Yeah.
So really, the strategy is key.
Yeah.
For many organizations. Why don't many organizations have it?
I'll say lack of awareness or appreciation that there is need for one strategy, because you'll be able to see organizations, they already have strategic plans, they already have social media policies, different other policies, etc. If that can be done, then why not social media strategy? Because it's a big space also on its own.
Wow. I also noticed you're very schooled in Fintech.
Yes.
Should we continue boasting that we are Safaricom? M-Pesa is the biggest innovation. Are there greater innovations or better innovations?
Yeah, we have better innovations both within Kenya and within Kenya and outside. It's just that Safaricom is monopoly, but there are a lot of other great innovations already happening, both within Kenya and even, for example, and even in Africa.
All right, I want you to hold that.
Okay.
And those of you online, now after the break, you have a chance to interact with Dr. Mursi right at the Elevate Studios, and he's going to be able to answer. Please post your question. The numbers are on the screen. We have a WhatsApp line, we have Facebook and YouTube, and I suggest go there. Let's interact. Let's get help. This is for you and for me. See you after the break.
Israel Ezekiah and Christ Freedom Chapel Ngong invites you to 3 days of outdoor worship featuring Boaz Duncan from Tanzania, Sylvia Akoth from Kenya, Moji Shot Baba, and Frank Mtakatifu. 3 days of outdoor worship happening from Friday 6th to Sunday 8th December 2024 from 3 p.m. daily at Ngong Bus Park, Ngong Town. For more information, call 0723 076 992 or 0797 727 397. Hosted by Pastor Israel Ezekiah and Christ Freedom Chapel Ngong. Proudly powered by Elevate TV.
Welcome back. I tell you, this conversation is getting better and better. Remember this, we are talking about social media analytics and the reason and why we need to begin to make data-driven decisions to grow our brand, to grow our organizations, and even our churches, for those who are believers, and even to grow your groups. You need to understand data analytics and be able to use that to make the next decision. I see some people online. I can see Wilberforce is online. Our director is in the US and is watching. It must be very late in the night. You know, it's very late for him. He's saying post consistently. We hope you're enjoying yourself, Mr. Director. We thank you for being part of Elevate, and we thank God for you wherever you are. God bless you. And Dr. Kitur we'll talk about her after this.
So.
She has a very strong question about students.
Okay.
It's online there.
Okay.
Yeah. We are talking about fintech.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's very interesting that I noticed most, not just fintechs, even banks, when they came into the social media space, and they took very, very strong presence.
Yeah.
In fact, I was talking with someone, and they said they literally headhunted, found, data analysts, they found social media experts to sit on that desk to basically represent the brand.
Yeah.
Why would people go to such lengths?
People would be able to go to such levels. For corporates, remember, for them it's about money. So and it's about customer satisfaction. So how do you be able to satisfy this customer who is actually will be able to ask questions on social media? Say, for example, she has an issue with a USSD. She can only be able to ask on social media. She's disgruntled about the services of a bank and will be able to do that on social media. When now you incorporate the aspect of listening, you'll also be able to know, okay, there's this disgruntled customer. He did not. He went to a bank. He came to our branch. He was not served well. When he posts, for example, on Facebook, he has. There's a potential that a lot of people would resonate with him. So when now we are already in this space, we can be able to arrest it. So we'll be able to find organizations, say, for example, please DM your contact so that we call you. Okay, so that we call you. So since now most of their customers are in there. Brand and reputation is key. That's why they've invested a lot in this.
Amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at what's going on, you know, one time I saw, you know, somebody just complained online. But you know, most people actually, they delete the tweet immediately.
Yes.
But then, and I gave an example. One time, I had a problem with a major corporation in this country. I had paid for their services, and 1 year down the line, they had never delivered. And it's a parastatal.
Yeah.
They had not delivered. Actually, 3 years down the line, having paid over 300,000 for an installation. And I tell you, by the time, I mean, I just got irritated this time. I decided to go online. I told you, I just put a line. I mean, and I decided to prosecute my case because I've gone to offices and nobody's helping
No one
me.
helping you.
So I decided to prosecute my case online. I put my discontent. I put up the receipts.
Yeah.
I put up everything online. I tell you, within 5 minutes, I had people. Within 5 minutes, I had a response.
Yeah.
I had someone calling me. I tell you, they fixed that thing that week. After 3 years.
You see? That's how powerful social media
But
is.
then the problem came here. The people who continued talking after I had posted,
Exactly.
it was crazy. People began just to talk. I know,
Yeah.
me, I paid 3 months, I paid 2 years ago. In fact, you are better. You know, I'm 5 years old.
Yes, yes.
I tell you, and I said, look at the power.
Yes.
Look at the power.
That's why now the aspect of social media listening is key, because now based on those pain points, the different customers were able to raise. A serious organization would be able now to listen. Okay, customer A, so we'll be able in machine learning we normally call it, for example, topic modeling. So you can be able to categorize topics based on the various thematic areas, and then now you can be able to sort them one by one. Again with the charge, mostly on social media. When you are able to listen, when you are able to social media listen, you'll be able to know. Because remember, your congregation are on Facebook. They also have lives from Monday to Friday. So when you are able to social listen, in some cases even it would even be able to inform your sermons even on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you ukiingilia someone first atasema
No, but it's the truth though.
utakuwa kama chief ule anataka kuona notes.
Yeah.
But do they listen?
Some
From your point of view?
some do, some do not. But now that's why now we have shows like this to be able now to communicate that there's something called social media listening. You need to start listening to social media so that it even informs some of the programs you do within the church setup, some of the sermons which happens within the church setup. We are not downplaying the aspect of revelation, the aspect of the Holy Spirit, but also doing that with now wisdom and knowledge which we've been given for free.
So because now you can become a people-driven
Yes.
minister, where
Yeah.
basically your sermons are coming from the people.
So, so people on Wednesday we are saying the data informed and faith driven.
Yes, data
People
informed,
now is the data.
faith driven.
Yes.
So that once, actually my leader has a very powerful statement. And I use it as a principle. He says, because that's that data driven, data informed, faith driven. This is his statement. His catchmark. He says, if you see a problem, teach about it.
Exactly.
Because you may go and confront confront somebody who doesn't know.
Exactly.
Or maybe you have expectations that are, you can't have expectations where you have no input.
Exactly.
And so if you see a problem, teach about it.
And you cannot be able to delegate or question what you've not mastered.
So now after you have taught,
Yeah.
now you can come from your teaching.
Exactly.
And say, this is what we taught.
Exactly.
This is what is going on.
Exactly.
Why? What's the disconnect here?
Exactly.
The information is available, but,
Exactly.
faith, data informed, faith driven.
Yeah.
Rose Kituru, she's asking you, as a lecturer, can you always know when students use AI to generate their content, and is it 100% okay?
So first, yes, I know easily. In fact, even they know, those who are watching, they know. When they just send their work, I know this is AI. This is not AI. We are not against AI. What we want is for you to be able to use it with wisdom. So yes, ChatGPT or whatever tool has been able to give you this, but now how will you be able to use that information? And then also for even you to be able to use these tools, on Wednesday we talked about domain knowledge.
Yeah.
When you know what you are asking,
Yes.
you'll even have better prompts and better answers from these AI tools. So even you'll even be able to find, even with more some of my students, those who just go and ask out of knowledge or aimlessly, you'll just be able to know this one actually did not even have that knowledge in the first place. But now when you are smart about it, and then you can actually be able to benefit. Because remember, it's a tool. We normally call it augmentative AI, to be able to improve, to assist you. So not to replace, but now to be able to assist.
There's a term that now is making headways in the social media, in what you call the social media space. The issue of data, what you call building digital inclusion. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, so when we talk about basically digital inclusion, it's about trying to be able to break that barrier.
Okay.
Let's go back to the days when Barclays used to only to be the bank which were only in Nairobi or to the rich. Equity came, went into the villages. That's why now we are able to break that barrier now and bring everyone into the banking space. So there was now that aspect of inclusion. The same now on digital inclusion. That's why you'll be able now to see the various government initiatives, like for example Chitume, computer labs in almost every area in the village, so that at the end of the day, when people, we are first able to bring opportunities to people, but also when now we basically create almost a level playing ground. In terms of even technology.
And that term began especially the last two administrations in government came in. They were talking about, we need to have, digital, bring digital inclusion to communities.
Yes.
And they said about the data labs,
Yes.
Those AI labs that are all, that I've never been to one. I don't know if they're there. In your research and in your movements, have you come across them, and what is their impact?
So there are ones, so they exist already. There are those which are actually supported by the government with CONSA, with mostly Ministry of ICT. There are also those which are actually done by individuals. I'll be able to have
The ones for individuals are many.
Yeah, the ones for individual, the individuals have many. And then again, you see now the government also cannot be able to do everything. But if they are now able to provide that infrastructure, so yes, there is impact.
There's impact.
Yeah.
And, you know, anyway, let me not go there. That's not our role. Talking about data-driven decisions, what are the actionable insights you can basically... I want you to talk to a green man like me. The analytics, I've gone to the page, I've looked at them. Am I able to read them? And am I able to be able to break them down into actionable, what we call actionable insights for me to make a decision?
Easy. So what you do...
I like the way you say easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. What you do, you you can have like, let's say, a week. So today you make a post, or let's use for example TikTok. You post a video on TikTok today 9 a.m. Tomorrow 9 a.m. what's the or how far is the interaction? Let's say for example 20 people are able to like your content. What was their demographic? Okay, you do again for example on Thursday, on Wednesday, or on Friday. In fact, in another project we are working on with, for example, with upcoming content creators. So when you are able to document, you'll be able, because basically with analytics actually it's just about patterns. So when you are able to see, for example, okay, I posted 9 a.m. on Wednesday, 20 people were able to interact with my content. I posted 11 a.m. on Wednesday, on Thursday, 10 people were able to interact with my content. I posted on Friday 5 p.m. 70 people were able to interact with your content. So from now, that pattern, you're gonna be able to say, okay, my audience, my community would want me to mostly to be posting on Friday. So that posting now of haphazardly without any clear strategy. So now be able to stick and say, okay, every Friday 5 p.m. let me post. From there now you'll now be able to build on that community. And then the advantage again with actually consistency. Once you are able to capture those loyal, those one now will be able to amplify your content. And then from there now it's just rising.
I want to demystify something.
Okay.
And you're going to help me. There is this common thought word out here. You need to keep posting. You need to keep posting. Fill your page with content. People want content. Last week I was dealing with someone, and she was telling me, you know, I'm creating content. Our page needs to be full. It needs to have content. You know, well, I listened and I didn't have a comment because I was listening at that point. Number two, we have this matter of, yes, we need to put a lot of content. You'll answer that.
Yeah.
The other thing is we need it now. It is now. You know, like if like now for churches, you don't need to think twice.
Just post.
On Sunday, I tell you by exactly 1, all the pictures of the church, if they are not sent, you are late.
People would ask.
You are late. They were sent. The media team is clearly instructed. Take pictures as you throw them. And what do you think about that? And then somebody puts on that page 78 photos.
Yeah.
Who is this who has this time to go through 78 photos and comment on 78 photos? Who is this?
So it goes back to your strategy. You don't need to post photos because you see, yeah, in fact, several churches are actually a culprit for it. Because when you are posting, for example, 78 photos, what message are you trying to pass across? Or you want like everyone to be able to look for their photo and then now be able to like, because what happens if out of 78 photos, I was actually seated in front and the camera guy did not capture me.
So you didn't find your photo?
I didn't find my photo. So it actually beats the purpose of actually those pictures. So so back to your question, you don't need to to post immediately. You need a strategy. That strategy will be able to inform you that there are some sections of our members who will be able to appreciate whenever we take photos. Okay, so so we'll be able to post, for example, photos of today, maybe during singing, during someone, and then if, for example, someone else would want some of these photos, they can be able to either reach the church office, etc. Because again, whenever when we talk about data protection last time, someone can actually say,
you took a photo of me and
without
consent.
my consent. Because
Yes.
you'll be able to find, maybe I was asleep, and then suddenly my photo is online, which I was actually asleep, and I did not give consent to that. So it goes back to your strategy. Once now you have strategy, whenever we post photos at 1 p.m., what are we actually targeting? Do we want to use this as a summary of accompaniment, of actually to do an overview of the sermon of today? Okay, so then now photos now would be able to make sense. But now you may find we just post photos, no captions, just photos. So again, it goes back to strategy, because now with strategy you'll be able to know I'm supposed to post consistently. That consistency may just include 5 photos to accompany how the service was on last Sunday.
You talked about captioning. Yeah, you've posted all those photos and there's no caption, or even the caption. The caption has to be thought out and has to be very deliberate, because you know most of the captions, let me give you, they are like this: wow, what a service. What a move of God.
Yes.
What you know, it is always that. Give us a sample of a caption.
So a sample of a caption, first understanding again. When you understand, I'll go back to the strategy, and then understanding the platforms. You'll be able to see, like for example, Facebook. But for some of the people we work with together at SignLab, what we normally recommend for them, and it actually works, is whenever, for example, you want to post a video, first your caption has to be key. So so that now even YouTube algorithm will be able to amplify or even recommend your content to other other audience. So on YouTube we normally call for example thumbnails. So in terms of now, so each platform again has got different possible captions you can be able to use, again based on the message, and also based on the message you want to be able to pass across, and then also demographic. So it can just be, for example, the title of the sermon in capital letters and directly to the sermon. So that can be on YouTube, and also that can also be on Facebook. Because what these platforms have they have been designed, they've been designed to be able to recommend to other people, to other audience, by algorithms. So these algorithms will be able to consider your different thumbnails, your different captions, which wordings did you use, which hashtags did you incorporate. Like now for Instagram, it allows still around 20 hashtags. So it's now those hashtags which will now be able to help amplify your content.
Wow. I mean, you are such a mine of information. I can't even exhaust what you're doing. So basically the captioning, because you see, most of you can have a great message, you can have great pictures, but it is lost at captioning.
Yes.
The message you caption with it loses it. And we are all, you said, I will use your words, we are all culprits.
Yeah, we are.
We are culprits. From today, I'm not going to be a culprit.
Good.
We're going to change that.
Good. Once now you've come into knowledge.
Yeah. So, Pastor, please, I hope you are listening. But remember, we want to give you the caution that he gave us on Wednesday. Please put a poster in your church.
Yeah.
Put a big poster, because of data protection laws that are very, 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 they are very strict.
Yeah.
Put a big poster on your hall and say, we shall take photos in this service.
Yeah.
We shall take photos and videos, and they shall be used in our social media platforms, in our church platforms, so that in case of anything, there is a warning, so that somebody can make a decision quickly, and be very, 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 I think being forewarned is being forearmed.
Yes.
We have time that is very limited. Another one from Kitulu. In terms of timing to post, should I ignore the 20 reactions and just timed for the 70 reactions? I think she means, should I ignore the 20 reactions and focus on the 70? I hope that's what she means.
No, you don't need, you can focus on the 70, but still understand the 20. Is there a possibility that those 20 can actually be able to go to 70? Is there a possibility that those 20, half of them were just sympathy, like they suddenly excited with you, or would, for example, those 70, there's a like the content, or the content you posted on those 70, it actually resonated with them so much that now they were actually able to actually able to attract more audience. So that can now tell you, okay, if this content was able to attract 70, does that mean this can be a guide, or now how my approach in terms of posting? So you don't ignore, it's just now trying to understand.
There's a question running in my mind. How do we convert those who are just watching, don't comment, they are just there, you can see the numbers and all that, into actionable participants into our pages?
By consistency and quality content. Once just like the different churches we are in, you went as a visitor, you liked what was there, you stayed, you now got engaged. As now you are in children's ministry, you are now in discipleship ministry. So you got engaged just from coming as a visitor, and then now liking what's there. So when you just continually post consistently and quality content, over time engagement will come.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's this matter of hashtags and trends. Explain it. The matrix behind it.
So there's something called transporting. So it's so transporting basically, which we advocated the aspect of research scientists and analytics. So within social media listening, you are able to see, for example, based on what's happening on social media, what's the most likely trend to be able, hashtag will be able to trend, let's say, in the next day, or for example, in the next hours.
So you can predict.
Yeah, you not 100%, but you can be able to predict, and that you can actually be able to use that to guide you. So the importance of hashtags, that's why in fact TikTok is actually leveraging this mostly on this. When you post, for example, your content on TikTok, so there are different hashtags. So you can post, for example, Nairobi TikTok. So when you click, for example, hashtag Nairobi TikTok, TikTok will be able to tell you this Nairobi TikTok has 9 million posts. So so within now that 9 million posts, there's actually a possibility that now, based on the so someone will just go to TikTok and search hashtag Nairobi TikTok. So there is a possibility now your content will be able to appear. The same again on Instagram. And then now these hashtags also need to be able to align mostly with your content, so that it doesn't get lost. In some cases, like now what happens on X or on Twitter, people would just, whenever there's any trending hashtag, people would just add more hashtags, which actually, for example, sell shoes maybe on a trending hashtag. That also works for them, but it's necessary to be able to identify an hashtag that actually will relate to your content.
So quickly, how do I leverage on a hashtag that is trending?
So first, if what is trending resonates to your content, then leverage for it. Because if for example, like now there is an impeachment of the deputy president. If you want to post something about let's say inspiration of us, adding a hashtag about the impeachment of the deputy president would not actually be able to align with what you are posting. So again, first, what do you want to post, and which relevant hashtag can I be able to use?
How can I create a winning hashtag? I think that's a question running in me and many people.
Yes.
Then I need to have a winning. I need to have ideas and ability to create hashtags that are very, and there are people known for that. Actually, I
yes.
discovered, you know, I was studying this matter the other day, and I discovered there are people known who literally have what we call winning hashtags.
Yeah, and you see those winning hashtags, they were crafted some way. So you can also be able to start so that for example, every time we are posting, so my hashtag would just be, well, the hashtag can also be part of the brand. My hashtag will be, for example, elevate. So I stick with that one. My followers now, as they continue to interact with my content, they know this is a unique hashtag for me. Other social media users will be able to say, okay, when Moses using this hashtag of elevate, he gets more interactions. So in that case, also you are also able to influence others. So you are also able to build your own community.
There is this big story. I've waited to the end. Social media and money. How do people make money online? In terms of, I mean, there's that big, you know.
Yes.
And today, you know, some of these children, you're telling that, you know, when you are growing up, your father, I think you listen to your father. You're told you need to be a pilot, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a professor.
Yes.
Nobody mentions pastor. I don't know why. But but again, the other day they were doing that in a school, and actually one of them said, "Me, I want to be an influencer."
Yeah. So social media it's actually paying. It's actually paying, but it only pays to people who are consistent and know what they want. Like now, for YouTube for them to be able to monetize, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. To get to that 1,000 subscribers is by you being consistent, so that you are able to get to that 1,000 subscribers.
You know, time. I don't know who created time. Our time is up. Can you believe it? Our time is up, and we just have to wrap up. I think you need a resident seat here.
So I'll just.
But also, as we wind up, because I want to give you a parting shot right now, a 1 second parting shot.
So my parting shot will be for the church, or for example, upcoming content creators. Develop your own social media strategy, which will be able to inform your digital presence, so that you don't just post with feelings. You post by following a strategy.
All right, that's well said. I tell you, Dr. Mursi is a man full of information. And I have some good news for you. We have talked with Dr. Mursi, and one of these days we are going to be hosting a pastors forum, just to talk about leveraging on the social media and what you and I can do to help build ourselves. We all need help, and we need somebody who has gone ahead of us and we can learn. So those of you who know me, if you can please let me know you are interested, because this is going to come in maybe a week or two, and we shall be able to bring it to your attention. But also, we want to thank you for watching Elevate. Please remember, vote for Elevate for the Tukuza Awards. We want you to take us where you want to see us. So please be part of the people who are voting. Vote, 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 and make sure that you tell your friends to tell your friends to tell your friends to make at least 5 votes. By the way, let me give you a challenge. Let's everybody do 3 votes a day and see what happens, and you'll see what God can do. From the desk here and from Elevate Television Studios, we want to wish you a great day. Thank you for keeping Elevate. Remember, we are here to advance kingdom lifestyle, and you're part of our partners. And if you want more on that, please, the numbers are on your screen there. Please get in touch with us, and we shall be able to, reach out to you and tell you what you can do to become part of Elevate Partners. Never forget that. God bless you, and have yourself a wonderful day.